Okay. The I think the first thing would be, yeah. I mean, look, I have a ton of respect for the young men in that locker room and the way they competed in the game. They were prepared and in the right frame of mind and attacked it. I do think that played extremely hard, played with passion. All three parts of our team. You know, certainly the tail of the tape is the missed opportunities in the first half on offense. We had many opportunities to score points and left a ton of points out there. A couple for short yardage situations, and then obviously the sneak fumble on the 1 yard line. But defensively, man, I have to say our guys kept us in the game. I thought we had a great plan. We played with really good. We kept the routes in front of us. We played really good on the perimeter. I thought we did a nice job creating some negative plays, and then obviously did a good job on conversion downs and able to affect the quarterback. Yeah, what a game. You know, obviously had a few injuries there, and certainly Graham getting banged up was a big part of the game, and then DJ obviously rose to the occasion and got us back in it there with the big throw at the end to tie it up. So, you know, I just think we left a lot of opportunities on the field in the first half in terms of points, and ultimately this was the, you know, this is one of those games where the margin was really small. But I think our staff had the team ready to play. I thought we had good plans. I think that, you know, I think our kids fought their tail off. I have a ton of respect for that. We made some plays in the kicking game. Obviously had the miscue right before half. And there's no question that we had a substitution issue there. But, I mean, we would not be in the game without the special teams performance. Those punt returns were critical. And certainly I thought we had control of the field position throughout. What questions do we have?
You showed two, and then you decided to go for one again. What went into your thinking there in that decision?
Well, we had to play that we felt good about, and then obviously they burned their time out. You know, and I think we felt from the three there, we were playing pretty good on both sides of our team at that point in time. So we felt like let's go play overtime, and you know, let's go give our guys a chance to play some more plays. Thought defensively we kept ourselves in it. Wasn't quite ready to do that at that point in time.
The scramble situation at the end of the first half. Obviously, Graham gets sacked, so
Yeah.
that puts you guys in a little bit of a bind. But to have 12 men on the field in that
Yeah.
situation, just how frustrating was it? Was it a breakdown of the sideline and communication and coaching, or what went into that play?
No, it was it was relative to an injury, just to be cut and dry. It was a substitution error based off an injured player that stayed on the field. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
You thought he was injured and he was
And
gonna
the
come back
injured
out,
player,
or
the player that had been substituted on that
yeah,
unit did not come off. He stayed
did not
on.
come off. Okay.
Right.
If you're allowed to say who was the injured player in question.
No, it's not about that. It was a substitution error.
How is Graham and Howard Moncho? I know it's maybe too soon to know, but just and how is he just from a spirits perspective having to watch that game and his frustration?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's tough. Obviously, Graham played phenomenal in the game, in my opinion. I mean, I thought he was lights out and really prepared well and came to play. And he does have an injury, lower body injury. Obviously, we'll give you some updates on that once we get to next week. But it was significant enough that he couldn't complete the game. I think that Montrell Johnson was in that category as well, wasn't able to return. And then R.J. Moten had an injury. That was a little bit of a setback.
You said earlier this week that you thought this team was really close to being good. After seeing this performance, how they played in all three levels, do you feel a little bit more in that belief despite the mistakes? Maybe it sounds a little counterintuitive, but do you feel like this team is still taking those steps forward after this game?
Yeah, no, I would think the defensive performance and then just our ability to move the ball throughout. You know, we had opportunities in the red area. I mean, I think we're 3 of 6 in terms of scoring opportunities. and ultimately that was the tail of the tape. Fumble on the 1 yard line, 3rd and 1, we get stopped, forced to kick a field goal. We go for it on 4th and 1. Great play by their corner running over the top, a great tackle. And then we missed the field goal in overtime. So, I think ultimately, technically speaking, just a ton of missed opportunities in terms of points in the first half.
What stuck out to you defensively, and what was a pretty solid overall defensive performance for you guys tonight? What stood out to you?
Well, we played with good gap integrity. I mean, I thought the line of scrimmage on the edges, we tackled well. We mixed in the pressures. We were able to create some negative plays, made some long yardage situations, and then ultimately we got off the field. We were pretty good on conversion downs throughout the day. So, defensively, we kept ourselves in the game. We had a chance to really take control of the game in the first half, and we missed on those opportunities.
What were you seeing from Jaden Bogg tonight? Obviously, Montreal had to step out early because of the injury, and running back room was already banged up. How'd you feel about him just stepping up into that lead back role as the game went on?
I know those guys are all capable players. Jaden, Jacoby, both are rookies, right? But I do think that they're both very capable. Certainly, Jaden has already done some good things this year, and we have a ton of confidence in both players. They practice the right way. They have character. They're smart. They're tough, and they're productive, right? So we're going to continue to get those guys the ball.
Given the missed opportunities, and you were in the locker room for a while, I mean, how would you describe just kind of the mood of the players and how you kind of press forward through this kind of a game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the hardest part about it. I think, they played their tails off. I think I had a front row seat to it. I think they played extremely hard in the game. There's no guarantee, no guarantees in this game. You have to put yourself out there with no guaranteed reward. It takes courage to do that. And I think ultimately, there's an opportunity here for our team. I just really believe there's something good on the other side of this. And I do think that it's a challenge, and I think that ultimately we're all going to be tested. We're all going to be challenged this game. It's going to be that way. If you're a competitor, you play this game, you're always going to be challenged. You're always going to be tested. There's always going to be scenarios where you don't get the results you want. And do you have the discipline to reset and do it again? Or will you get distracted? Will you compromise your character? And I don't think we have that issue. I think we got a bunch of guys that care about each other, that played their tails off, that prepared the right way and competed. I think we just came up a handful of plays short, and that's where, as a coach, it's a punch in the gut, relative to, you just want to do everything you can do to help the players.
Coach, you've talked about the competitive elements about your practice during the bye week, and you said that you would continue to do that. Will injuries play into that, and you'll kind of have to back off some of that seem to help your club, or is that something you want to continue with, kind of those competitive elements as you prepare week to week?
No, we will continue to operate. It's working. That's what I would tell you. And I think our kids have bought into it, and it's helped our level of play, in all parts of our team.
What do you think it says about the team, in spite of all the injuries and all the stuff in the late minutes of the game? What do you think it says about the young guys on this team and just the overall culture that's being built in that locker room, that they managed to fight until literally the very end?
Yeah, we got a group. We got a great combination of players relative to veteran leadership, and then we have some young guys that have the right mindset and the right makeup, that have an opportunity to contribute. And there's a lot of guys. There's so many people that contribute to what you watched out there tonight. A bunch of them didn't get a chance to make the trip, but they worked their tail off all throughout the week to help the team prepare. So it's one of the best things about this group. And obviously this will be a challenge here. We'll have an opportunity to respond, and we'll play football next week at this time.
It was a pretty adverse situation for DJ on the game-tying drive there at the end of the game in front of 100,000 people. What does it say about just his composure and his maturity throughout his time here at UF to lead you guys down that drive?
Yeah, one of the things about DJ that I respect is that as a competitor, he has this unique ability to raise his level of play at critical moments, you know, and I think he obviously not only picked the right route progression, but had to move and then threw a strike at a critical moment. And look, I thought he even did some of his more impressive stuff was in the first half, you know, when he was playing. I thought he did a lot of really good things. But for a rookie to go play on the road in that environment and to step up in a big moment, I think he's got that in his DNA. And there's a bright future ahead for him.
If he has to lead this team moving forward, depending on the situation, just how much more confident are you than maybe you were before the beginning of the season after you've seen what he's done to start the first half of this year?
Well, he started one game earlier in the year, and then obviously he's had an opportunity to contribute each week. So he'll be more prepared. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, you know. I have absolute confidence in DJ Lagway.
The jet sweep play with Wilson that got stopped on the foot down play. A lot of people had fourth inches, maybe you lined someone up under center there. What did you see defensively that decided to make you go shotgun there?
No, we got them all blocked. I think the guy that had Trey man-to-man ran over the top of the play and made a heck of a play. You know, we blocked the perimeter really well. DJ made a good decision. I think it was an outstanding play by the corner that had Trey man, you know, to show up on the other side. It was a good physical tackle and a really good play by their defender.